In the fall of 2010, the Commonwealth Games were held in New Delhi, India. An international broadcasting centre was made from scratch to bring the Games to over 2 billion viewers worldwide in high definition. Prasar Bharati, host broadcaster of the Games, has put Shaf Broadcasting and Global Television in charge of the monumental task of building this media hub for the Games broadcast. In the heart of Pragati Maidan, Southeast Asia's largest cultural arts centre, the IBC was constructed on a single floor of an 8,500 square metre concrete building. In the end, it will take 4 months of renovations to bring this broadcasting centre to life.
Studios, linear and non-linear editing suites, satellite uplinking, optical fiber connectivity. We are looking forward to our broadcasting performance, which will be world-class.
Asiad in '82 gave us color television. You facilitated us to go into high-definition television.
I had a good tour of the facilities here, and they're fantastic. I think they're a credit to both Shaf and Global with the facilities they've delivered for the broadcasters and the environment they've delivered them to do their job.
For any international broadcasting centre, there are several key departments that are essential to broadcasting a live event. For a multi-sport event like the Commonwealth Games, there are usually several networks or broadcasters that will feed their viewers or subscribers the event. More often than not, these signals are sent over oceans to their respective countries. For the Commonwealth Games, it's always the rights holder broadcasters of the Commonwealth nations that will be programming the live athletic events. For the 2010 Games in New Delhi, it's even bigger. This will be the first year the Games will be available to over 2 billion people worldwide in high definition. And in order to make sure viewers will be able to keep up with their country's teams, a complex structure has been designed for the flow of audio and video being captured at the venue, through the IBC to the rights holders, and all the way to your high-definition television at home, thousands of miles away, instantaneously.
So we decided right from the very beginning that this is not going to be anything but an HD Games. HD is becoming a basic standard in most countries. In all of our major rights holding countries like Australia, New Zealand, Britain, Canada, they're all HD or nearly HD. Also, it was something that I think India had to do. They're not an HD nation yet, but they're going to become one. So it was better to do it in HD and to leave that legacy behind for them.
How does this broadcasting nerve centre work? So we start with the event. Thousands of people can see it right in front of their eyes, but how can someone catch it at home? Throughout the Games, broadcasters will have access to over 350 high-definition cameras spread out over 12 venues, including ENG cameras and 5 different beauty cameras at different historic spots of Delhi. Giving the viewer the best coverage is the broadcaster's concern, and that's exactly what the IBC allows them to do. A gunshot rings through the air and the runners are off. The numerous cameras capture the action. Every stride forward is filmed through high-definition cameras and sent to the IBC by optical fiber pathways that leave the image uncompressed in true HD. The IBC is where logging, archiving, quality control, commentary and distribution takes place. The CDT, or Contribution Distribution Transmission section of the IBC, is essentially the brain of the IBC. It's the master control room, in that all incoming and outgoing signals will flow through here. Global Television, Australia's leading service provider in broadcasting, designed the CDT and put Everts Microsystems in charge as the key technology supplier.
Going to be the first major games that are actually playing the field in HD, and Everts are the main suppliers for this, for Global as well as Shaf Broadcast.
Everts supplied the specially designed router systems and the custom multi-screen display monitoring system. fixed with 8 HD flat panel displays and each one capable of viewing 16 different screens, brings the total to 128 viewable screens at any one time. From here, technicians can monitor quality control of the feed, distribute signals to various rights holders, and finally, transmit the image with audio embedded to the satellite farm or international fiber system. From the CDT, we move to the audio managing station. The CSC, or Commentary Switching Center's job, is to switch all commentary and coordination circuits from the venue to the rights holders in the IBC.
The commentators at the venues, it's where their signal comes in. It comes through the commentary switching, and then from us, where we can monitor and meter those signals and then pass it on to the rights holding broadcasters.
Now, to where all the footage coming into the IBC is recorded and stored. When the footage hits the IBC, it will pass through the logging and archiving room, where every second of audio and video will be recorded by 30 HD cam recorders. At the end of 2 weeks of games, there'll be over 1,600 HD cam tapes that will serve as a hard copy backup for all the digital archiving and logging that will take place.
We can retrieve the exact time code and the tape number so that we can actually go to the library, pick the tape out of the library based on the barcode, and roll it to the time code that we have and find the footage that we're looking for.
EVS, the world leader in digital archive management, has been brought in as a key technology provider. Here, 6 XT2 Plus EVS units record all high-definition feeds coming in from a live event at 120 megabytes a second using a DNX HD codec. All of the footage is then put up on an EVS server, viewable by rights holders who wish to look up specific events for booking purposes. For games of this magnitude, 26 loggers are needed to monitor the sporting events as they're received in the IBC. Trained prior to the start of the games and each one familiar with a specific event, the logger watching the event will be making keyword-specific notes to be archived on the EVS server.
And the best part is watching sports, logging it, it's fun. And the team I have is quite experienced in logging, so I'm getting to learn a lot from them.
The EVS system will be accessible by the rights holders in HD and in low resolution for fast viewing.
So basically what they can do with this is they can send the HD clip up to the send. So we got a 40 terabyte send, which is used by the editors. So the goal of all this is to record all the incoming feed, to log them, to archive the feed. And with the logs, the browsers which are going to be using the edit suite can look for whatever footage they want real quick.
The host broadcaster of the games, Prasar Bharati, in addition to providing the International Broadcasting Centre, is also responsible for providing 2 one-hour edited highlight packages per day of the event. EVS has set aside 3 highlight edit suites, each equipped with an EVS-specific editing software called Clean Edit. For rights holders who wish to cut their network packages at the IBC, there are 3 complete Final Cut Pro stations with qualified editors available 24/7. Powering the state-of-the-art high-definition equipment in the IBC was of great importance, as you might imagine. In addition to pulling a huge amount of electricity from India's northern grid, 7 generators and 2 backups were brought in, each pumping out 500 kilowatts. Situated behind the IBC, 9 generators sit ready to kick in more than 3 megawatts of power in case of a national grid failure. Power is rigged through a network of online UPS or uninterrupted power supply units of a gargantuan nature, with a switchover time that ranges in the milliseconds, so as not to power off any machine for the slightest amount of time. The IBC will be a 24-hour operating facility. Comfort and ease of access is of foremost importance. An international cuisine dining area has been constructed to be able to serve hundreds of people round the clock. Surrounded by India's bright colours, media personnel can come here to take a break from the hectic schedule of the Games. A 24-hour information and help desk also sits with plenty of volunteers ready to assist anyone in need.
We've come out of a year of doing Vancouver for Winter Olympics. We've come out of doing World Cup soccer in South Africa. and now Commonwealth Games, all in the same year. And broadcasters walking around and seeing the facilities that they're seeing here is a fantastic comparison. So that's where we're getting this world-class comments about this IBC, because it is world-class compared to major events that have been held this year.
We wanted to present the technology and bring a technology showroom in India to demonstrate our capability to implement tapeless solution in HD in the country. Thanks to the partnership we had with Global and Shaf, we are able to demonstrate a great solution that can be implemented for various broadcasters. And for us, that was one key element to work closely with Global and Shaf on this Commonwealth Games.
Doing a project of this magnitude, there should be a lot of legacy that is left behind. So we worked with companies which had experience in many verticals, but getting them to do a critical media center was important. The International Broadcast Center is taking their television pictures to 70 plus countries for the Commonwealth Games, or for over 2 billion people to watch. So building up a center to make sure that it's on all the time was a key thing.
Inside and out, from venue to your doorstep, Shaf Broadcast and Global Television have created the broadcasting centre that will bring the joy of the Commonwealth Games and future sporting events to the audience in amazing high definition. All this is fit to every rights holder's specifications, so they're able to deliver the best possible broadcast.